you're good. Happy 2026, baby.
Check. Can you
2026. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ready to get this potty started?
How
do you like my look?
You look great. Can I describe it?
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
a nutshell?
What's
So
wrong
you
with my
have
look?
on
How
your
about your look?
Well, my look is interesting too, but you have on a gray puffer jacket that you got for Christmas.
I'd say slate blue.
Slate blue.
Dude, it's
okay.
freaking...
It's very cool.
We found the Eddie Bauer at
JCPenney.
And it was clearance. And I had to, y'all aren't going to believe this thing. How about $24 for something that you would normally pay like $150 for?
Yes. So you've got that on in the house. Let me say we do have heat.
Why do I have it on in the house?
Because we just cold plunged.
But let's complete the look. So I've got
so let me finish here. Yeah. So you've got on your coat. You've got on some gray shorts with your UGG slippers. And to top it all off, pun intended, you have on your black felt cowboy hat.
Yes, sir.
So I just wish y'all could just picture.
This should be a video podcast today.
Yeah.
That's how about you? You got your little sweatshirt.
I got my hoodie.
Isn't that mine?
No, this is mine. I have on a hoodie, leggings, and
some Christmas socks.
Comfy socks. Yep.
Yeah. So first podcast of the year. How was your holidays? How was your
same as yours? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
You know what? It was really a great holiday. I felt like it was fun and full. We got to see a lot of people.
Lots of family time.
We got to be a part of a Christmas celebration with my aunt, my cousins, Rosemary, Terry, Waylon, all of those fun people, and we don't get to see them a whole lot. Yeah. And so enjoyed that. That's my dad's side of the family. So that was interesting. It just makes you feel connected to a part of your history. And since my dad's not here anymore, it just feels so good to be with a part of people from
what was
his
cool
family.
She literally had sorry, man, it's all those chemicals are spraying everywhere.
Okay.
Breathing it in, the fog. Rosemary, I like the way she had a vision board, like a poster board on an easel with all the people that were have gone before us and were not with us, and that was cool to see that. And then she had everyone go around and do a family update and share. I know that strikes fear and anxiety in many hearts, but it's family.
Yeah,
did find out over the holidays that one of our family members has. Like she talked about major social anxiety and coming to our family events. It wasn't just like going out in public or doing things with other people.
Yeah,
it's like, I said, even our family stuff, like it's us.
Yeah.
It's our family. Y'all got your back. But I think more and more people struggle with that these days.
I guarantee you people that are listening today are like, oh yes, I can feel you, sister. Yeah.
It's weird. I've had different seasons where that flared up but it's interesting when it does. I'll just go play a part. I'll play the extrovert. I just snap into that role. But usually,
so what do you do to snap into that role?
Well, it's easy for me now to kind of access that the insight that everyone else is very self-conscious. Everyone else is struggling with that. So when I walk into a room, I just try to like literally, I remember one of the last weddings I did, I met one of the nieces of the bride and she walked in and I could just see it. And she stuck out her hand to shake my hand and it was just freezing cold. It was ice cold. And I just tried to look her in the eye and kind of calm her down in that moment and just be present and just, let her be seen and heard. And hey, it just normalized that, hey, it's no big deal. We're all kind of feeling this and let's just relax and be us kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so, yes. But for me, when I say play the part, just maybe be a little extra gregarious and curious and start conversations with people, look them in the eye, ask them questions about themselves, and engage instead of just shrinking over in the corner, just engage in conversation,
Yeah. I think that's a good, just kind of a tool to have in your tool belt. Like just knowing so many other people are feeling the very same thing.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't. Some of them, this is like they were created for this time, but
very
most
small
people
percentage are
feel
just people.
Yeah. They're
all feeling anxiety.
They're anxious. And even though like, I feel like I am 100% a people person.
Yeah.
I still feel it from time to time where I'm like, I'm kind of nervous, or, if when I go to weddings with you, sometimes we know a lot of the people. Sometimes I don't know them from Adam. Right. And so it's interesting though, because it's in those times where I don't really know many people, I'm like, oh, well, I don't even know these people in the first place, and I'm just kind of a wallflower.
Yeah.
And I do try to, reach out and meet new people, but when I know people, sometimes that's even a time where I'm like, oh, I'm just kind of nervous. Yeah. And now that we're, working from home all the time, sometimes you can slip into what feels comfy and what feels safe, and where there's like no anxiety. You just kind of want to hunker down, which I think happens too. Something weird happens to us in the wintertime when we, our bodies kind of go into hibernation and feel warm and comfy and safe. But I do think it does a lot for our mental health when we can push ourselves to do things. I remember specifically I think it was like a rehearsal dinner or something, and you were going to know people there, and I didn't really know anyone there. Yeah. And I was like, I got so nervous. It's when you had your truck. And I remember sitting in the truck going, oh, I could see the people inside going, I'm so nervous. Like,
that's hard for me to even compute.
What
like
if I just,
would ever feel that way?
I know. But I remember thinking, what if I just sat in the truck? And you were like, what are you doing? So I don't know. I had like a weird, thing that happened. And I thought, okay, no,
everybody goes through that.
Whew, take a breath. Here we go. And then once I'm in there and once I kind of start, talking to people,
courage. Just got to get into the door.
Yeah. What was so funny is I met the daughter of the soon to be bride and got to be friends with her. And then this was so weird. We ended up talking the whole night because she was probably a little bit anxious too. And then we were leaving the next day to go to Austin for like a weekend trip. And she ended up going with us. Do you remember that?
Oh, wow. Yes.
Anyway.
Okay. Now I know who you're talking about. I was picturing a different wedding.
Yeah. So
wow, that's cool.
I know. Yeah. So, I mean, it was like, wow, I made a new friend. But that was, now that I look back at that, I'm like, what was up with me at that point in time? Right. So, it happens to all of us.
Just, again, having the insight that people are so self-conscious. So when you're walking in a room, you're self-conscious, thinking everyone's, looking at you or thinking about you. They're just thinking about themselves. And so they're all in the same boat. And more and more, I feel those cold hands, like literally freezing cold. And I'll just say, cold hands, warm heart, kind of thing. But yeah, it's people feeling anxious about being around other people. So
tell what tell other people about leaning into that anxiety and doing the thing and what happens when you do.
Yeah. When you shrink and your world shrinks. So if you picture yourself shrinking back and avoiding the thing that makes you anxious, your brain in that moment says, whew, okay, you're safe. But if you realize what you just did is you took yourself out of a situation. And so literally your options, your freedom, your liberties, they shrink. You've just crossed off a lot of would be or could be opportunities off your list. And so when you put yourself into it, a part of your brain grows, like literally, so you build resilience in. So every time you feel a little anxious, it's that gradual exposure therapy that therapists will work with people. Like, dip your toe in. You don't have to go full force off the, high dive into the deep end. You just kind of dip your toe in and wade gingerly into the shallow. And then pretty much then you're up to your waist, and pretty soon you're swimming around thinking, this isn't so bad. So it didn't kill you. It was uncomfortable, but it didn't kill you. You survived. And that starts to grow some resilience, and you develop a broader world. And it's like, wow, look, I've expanded my territory.
Yeah.
So with
go ahead. I was just going to say real quick, another mind hack that I've heard of and I've tried to use at different times is to kind of make friends with whatever it is that's making you feel anxious. You know, if it's just some anxious thoughts about a certain this or that, to say, okay, I see you and we're friends. Like I get it. You're trying to protect me. You're trying to help me. Yeah. And so it's almost like this interesting relationship you can form with those anxious thoughts, and, thank them for where they have helped you in the past and say, but you know what? I'm not going to really need you right now because I'm going to press through and I'm going to do this thing. So thanks so much.
Is this a false alarm going off?
Thanks for your service.
You know what? Thank you. This has alarmed me in the past but thank you. But maybe this is a false alarm. I'm going to override the system and go into it. Yeah, that which you resist persists. And so you embrace it, you let it come, you let it be, and say, you know what, this is part of me. There's nothing wrong with me. This is me. And I'm going to embrace all of it. So back to Rosemary's. I loved, doing the family updates and going around and doing that. And then she asked, it was funny. I guess she just thought about Carson and Brian being the musical people in the family. There's so many musical people in that family, but she asked us to sing. Could we sing? And it was Silent Night, right? And that was so cool.
Oh, it was really sweet.
I just think people, singing together, it does something. Obviously, people worship together, and it made me want to go caroling. And nobody ever obliged me. I think
I did. I wanted to. I didn't know if it would be weird for just you and me to do it.
Yeah, people come shout at you through their Ring camera now and shoot at you.
That was a really, really sweet night, and just so much intention went into it. Yeah. I know she came like a week early to stay with her daughter, my cousin Terry, and shout out to Terry, and James and Rosemary, and so she came like a week early to help just get everything set up. And it was so cool to just walk in, and she had even texted me some of these things ahead of time, but to walk in and see the intention, like, we've been waiting for you. We've been looking forward to this moment. Welcome, come on in. And so one thing that was so sweet when you walked in, they had welcomed.
You are loved. Yeah. You belong here. That's Yeah.
So she had this like basket with all these different like headbands that were like reindeer and Santa Claus and elf, and so each of the kids or whoever could come in.
Get that on fast enough.
It was my best day ever. And so, speaking of that, I do have a headband that says "Best Day Ever." Okay, so anyway, thank you. I love fun. Thanks. Okay, so then at the end of so all the food was set up and prepared. We had tortilla soup and tamales and some chili and all the fixings. It was so good. But at the end of the island, they had like however many 8 to-go boxes with the little,
to-go boxes, as you like to say.
That have the, all the different separate compartments. And they had already fixed something special for each of the kids. So it was like whatever, like a crescent roll, like wrapped hot dog with some macaroni and cheese and some fruit or something. So they had made that ahead of time so that it would be easy to grab and go for the kids or for the parents to grab for their kids. And
I felt bad when they noticed that Ruru's was missing.
You ate it. Yep. That was a problem.
Go whip something else up.
Just so sweet. And then they had this, all these tables set up in this new garage that they built out back, and one of it called a Garage Mahal. Garage Mahal.
The husband hates when Terry calls it the Garage Mahal. James hates that. Barndominium.
But one of the tables had a disposable tablecloth that you could color and draw on it for the kids. Anyway, just so much intention. And yes, that was at Christmas time. But what if this year you kind of put on your radar, like, you know what, here's a couple that we've talked about getting together with, or here's a family, or here's some people that we've wanted, a group that we've wanted to have into our home. And what if we did that? And what could we do to intentionally show we've been waiting for you? You're welcome here.
That was great. And then right after that, so that's like 35 people in that, 40 people in that room. And then we broke off and we had your extended family without that side of the family come back to our house, had another Christmas that night. And then, of course, then we had, and I know people have already, it's New Year, people have thrown out the Christmas tree and taken down all the decorations. Unless you're lazy, like Nate Bargatze talks about, you still haven't taken down your Christmas lights.
Oh, wow.
But, and so this seems like wow, y'all are talking about the holidays. But then we came back here, and of course, Christmas Eve, we went to a Christmas Eve service. Then we had our kids and grandkids here for Christmas Eve, spent the night, and then we had our Christmas Day.
So fun.
Oh, fun Christmas Day story. So we are... And then, by the way, then we had my family Christmas on New Year's Day. So, man, we did a lot of Christmas celebration. That was so cool seeing Clark and Andrea and their families. That was fun.
Yeah,
played
hearing
a lot
y'all
of games. Singing around the piano, just going through the greatest hits, and then that game we played.
Yeah, Empire.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So look it up. Empire was a blast. We played that.
And you don't need anything. You don't need a board game. You don't need supplies. You need paper that you can rip up.
Yep.
And
little paper squares and pins. So on Christmas Day, think about this. This could have been like a Clark Griswold moment. It kind of was.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know where you were going with this.
So on Christmas morning... Christmas Eve, some people open gifts, and then Santa has brought stuff on Christmas Day. It's the unwrapped toys, and you find them, under the tree. But we pass out the gifts and actually open on Christmas Day. And then there are the toys that the grandkids come out. We've all been up since, 2 a.m., and then they're up at 7 a.m. So it's a long day. But we start passing out all the piles and getting ready to open. And we all go around, youngest to oldest, and literally right about the time, or maybe right in the middle, of the opening, somebody said, there's a gurgling back in the toilet. And somebody said, oh, okay. And I heard some funny noise in the sink. And so I immediately go out and check the septic. We have an aerobic septic system. And I know that system very, very well. We've had actually no issues with it, which is cool. I mean, every once in a while, like I've had to YouTube how to change the compressor. Did that. The little diaphragm, they call it, on that. And then, there's a pump, there's your sprinklers. If you get clogged or if it's getting full, an alarm will go off, and you've got some time before it backs up into your house. But and we've never had that happen. We've had it pumped out, since we've been here one time. Anyway, I thought, and sometimes the alarm will go off if a toilet's running, like if it's stuck or the flapper's up or somebody's running water. But so I went out. The alarm was working, but it had not gone off. And then I start checking. I actually open the tanks and look, like, no, we don't have an issue there. But pretty soon, one of like the shower, the tub, we start getting like some backup. And the toilets are not flushing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So literally on Christmas Day, right in the middle of that, I'm calling Roto-Rooter. And luckily, 24/7 plumber, and they didn't charge me some kind of astronomical emergency rate. A guy was there, came right to the house. He was there within 30 minutes, and he said, "Sure enough, you got a clog between basically our bathroom and 20 feet out to the tanks. There was our clean out. He opened it up and ran his little snake, and we got the clog fixed. But that turned, what could have been a disaster. I'm thinking of all things. We got all these people over here after this great Christmas breakfast, and people are going to be needing to use the toilets. I was just picturing the worst case scenario. And this guy was on duty because he and his wife were going to go to Vegas and celebrate with his family a little later for Christmas around the New Year's. And so, problem solved. And I remember using all of the tools that I am now employing, which is, we're going to come back and talk about that.
Yes.
But instead of just those tools being these temporary things and then losing your mind, I thought I literally walked outside and I was walking over with my, first my crescent wrench to open up the clean out and then to actually open the tanks with the Phillips head screwdrivers. And I just thought, I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to worry. I just thought to myself, within probably hours from now, within 24 hours, this problem will be solved and we won't even be thinking about it. It was a little downer because we had to spend a little extra money right there at Christmas. But I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to let this be a big deal.
Yeah.
And I made a choice and it was different. And I remember coming in and Chandler, our oldest daughter, and she's me in female form, and she's just looking at Dad like, okay, is Dad? And then Christian, hey man, if this, we're going to help out if there's going to cost anything extra. He was so sweet. And he asked about that. I said, no worries. And then Ryan, hey man, can I do anything to help you? Son-in-law. It was just so cool to see just all the solidarity and the support there, emotional support. But they're like, man, is Brian, is he okay?
Is he okay? Is he mad?
Yeah. And it was, problem solved. And we just went right on. And we said, thank you very much. He left and we continued on with Christmas. And so, yeah, that was cool.
Already it's an emergency pretty much, Yeah. So already tensions are going to be high. Like, oh my word, we got to take care of this. And it's Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And, just
what a disaster,
just almost the worst case scenario. Right. But, I think the old you without the tools would have just responded the way that you would feel like the natural response is, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. And just tense. And nobody would blame anybody for feeling like that. But I noticed a marked difference. And because you didn't just go with your natural reaction, you were like, okay, I gotta tap into the supernatural here. Like I'm going to breathe, and we're going to talk more about that, I'm sure, just in a minute. But all the tools that you use to kind of get you into a place where you're like, okay, you know what? I can't control this right now. And so because I can't control this, what I can control is how I'm responding to it. And I watched a completely different response that kind of helped all of us to feel a little easier. Like, okay, no, we wouldn't have picked. It's not like we're going, woohoo, so glad the septic is, backing up in the house. It's not that you have to be like super excited about everything that happens, and you do have to respond, and you are going to be frustrated, but you can control kind of what that looks like. And if it makes the situation worse or better, and it kind of calmed us all down the way that you responded.
Yeah. One of the things that, and again, we're going to continue, but talking about this, but one of the affirmations that I listen to, I have my own that I repeat every day, every single morning to myself. And I say out loud many times. But there's this new guided meditation that I use that, she says, you're programming your subconscious when you start to listen to this. And she says, she challenges you to listen to it for 21 days. Well, I do it every day, and I do it multiple times a day. I literally pull up, it's like 8 minutes and 40 something seconds that I pull up every single morning. And one of the things that she reminds in several of her meditations is that your body is the only thing in the present, that your thoughts are in the past or the future. So right now, it helps ground me to the present moment. And so if you take the narratives away, so when that thing starts backing up, if I can just stay in the present where I'm standing, right, with feet firmly planted on the ground, and not go into the past, because the narratives that you tell yourself, you're picturing, Uncle Eddie on Christmas vacation, right? Or you're picturing all the stuff that's happened in the past, or you're picturing a backup, or you're picturing them cleaning out the pipes and spraying it through your sink and it goes all over your bathroom, whatever. And if you take those thoughts captive and you let that go, and you don't go into the future with the money, or you don't go into the past with the disaster, you stay present. it's interesting what can happen. And it's just so freeing. And you have way more control over that. So thoughts and feelings are the problems there. And if you can stay present in the present moment, that is the trick. And so people, one of the things that we do every year, and it feels like, man, just time flew. We were just talking about this for last year, right? Or at the beginning of last year. 2025 has been an amazing year. At the end of 2024, it was starting everything. It was so hard, and we went through that. But I feel like it was the best year in a few decades, and we've been so blessed. And one of the things we do is do a word for the year. So I wanted us to talk about, because our kids aren't going to listen to this, right? I wanted us to share, because we're about to have our one word dinner where we've got the steaks, our Costco steaks. Thanks you, Costco. And we're going to be grilling some steaks, and you'll make all the sides, and we will sit around the table and share our one word for the year. And it's just kind of filled with intention. Yeah, when you get up and set intentions for the day, it'll affect your day. What do you want? Do you want to be kind today? Do you want to express gratitude to people around you? Just set an intention for every day. But this kind of sets an intention for the year. And so you're more aware, you're more conscious of that particular thing that you want to have manifest in your life. And my word for the year, I want to hear from you, but since we're on this topic, mine is manifestation. I want to manifest certain things in my life, and I've realized now the way to do that is to be very, very intentional and focused. And so for me, it's affirmations, those daily affirmations. And when you hear people say that, I've sent several people these daily affirmations, one of these daily meditations that I use, and some people will even start to write down, like, what did you say to yourself? Like, what are your affirmations? I think people need to make their own. And there's a lot of generic ones that are great, One of mine, I am more than my thoughts and feelings. I'm the manifest presence of God in the world. God is my provider and sustenance, and has already given me everything I need for abundant life. Money, nor the fear of lack of money, will influence me or dictate my thoughts, feelings, or emotions. My body is the temple of the Holy Spirit and will be treated as such. Any symptom speaking to me about any area out of alignment will be given immediate attention, and divine healing will bring me back into complete health, wellness, and wholeness. I could go on, but those are some of mine that I say every day. But in this guided meditation, a lot of times people think, well, yeah, I should do that. Some of the people I've sent it to have listened to it. And some just, I haven't gotten to that yet. And so we all know there's certain things we should do to make our lives better, as far as diet, maybe fasting some, maybe doing a miracle morning, having some time in the Word, or being silent in the morning, praying more, being more intentional with reaching out and writing notes to people you love, or picking up the phone and calling them or texting them. But so many people just don't do it. And so when my word being manifestation, I'm going to do the things that I know help me. If I know the cold plunge really helps me, if I know doing exercise, if I know stretching helps my back feel better, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it like all the time, every single day. So just taking that, there's a recipe for a good day. There's a recipe that those good days turn into a good week, and those weeks turn into good months, and the months turn into a good year, and those years turn into a good life. It's just do it. And so that has been my kind of accountability to myself, because when you do those affirmations, and you truly, they're not just wishful thinking, you agree with them. And you align with them. And then there's something inside that's telling you those things and reminding you all throughout your day. And that's why I think affirmations are so important. And I will tell you, they are beginning to manifest in my life. I told you when I started listening to that guided meditation, and one of the things, like when you say out loud, I radiate positivity in my life. So if that is something you're saying every day out loud, you start to realize, I'm radiating positivity. And then if you start to radiate negativity, it's like, wait, that's not me. That's not who I want to be. I want my external world to reflect my internal emotional state. And so I'm going to pay attention to that. So, and I remember telling you there were certain ones that I didn't agree with, or I didn't really feel deeply, and I want to get there. But so many times as I was listening through, I thought, I agree with that. You know, the things that you feel, you attract. The things that you can imagine, you create. Like we're creating we're our reality. And so many people will kind of, well, no, it's wishful thinking, or how about, you're not in control. What about things that happen to you? Well, again, there's those thoughts and feelings that go along with, the physical reality, and your internal life is so important. So, yeah. So my word for the year is manifestation.
I have watched that change you. And I've watched when you've been, less than positive, and you're saying whatever. And then you're like, you know what? Wait a second. I radiate positivity. Sorry. I forgot for just a second, but just like the scripture says, take those thoughts captive. That's what I watched you doing. And you're like, cancel. Take that and go, no, that doesn't align with what I actually believe about myself, And so you catch it. Well, when you don't have anything there to switch it with, you may feel like, I hate when I'm negative like this, but you know what? I should be negative. Look at all this crap that's happening in my life. And you can just start going down that road where we could all go.
Hey, and it's normal. That's human.
But you have found something to help combat that. So just like the septic system, crap is going to back up our whole lives long. And so you can either just, well, here we go again. It always happens to me, just the crap is, hitting the fan all the time in my life, and whatever. You could go down that road, or you could say, okay, you know what? This is not the best timing today, but let's see what we can do about this. And oh, wow. Okay. So the roto guy can come out today. Awesome. And, just try to turn it to where you're not compounding, the negativity and the bad stuff that's happening. You're actually saying, okay, I recognize this isn't, pleasant. It's not what I would want to happen in my life right now. It's never convenient, but what can I do to kind of turn it on its head? How can I see it in a different way?
Yeah. If you think, well, here we go, man, I can't get ahead. It's always something. I mean, I say that. I said it to a good friend over the holiday season. And if you think, well, bad things come in threes and two things have happened, you're waiting for number three. You're just watching for it. You're waiting for it and you're looking for it, and you will find it. Right. Or you could say, you know what? Anything that happens, this is going to be an opportunity for growth. It's going to be an opportunity for me. It's like there's a challenge, there's an adventure. What's going to happen? And I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to go with it. It's so crazy how your positive mental attitude can really affect. So your brain is running you. I would say, the program that's installed is running you. Well, you're writing the program in real time with what you do, what you think. And so it's important what you do, how you behave, what you think, the things running in the theater of your mind, right? If you're playing a negative story in your mind, you're watching that movie, then you're going to become a part in that movie. How about create a really cool story and then become the hero in that story, if you will. So, yeah, we're not getting any younger, and it's the things that work. I want to really do them, and so, and I just say this to say it's not really. You could say it's becoming disciplined, but it's just doing the things, and most of the things that are really helpful, or let's say a lot of them, they don't come naturally. You may not intuit them, and they're hard. The people who, if we found that we love getting in that cold water because of all the different benefits, but do we like getting in the cold water? No, no one likes it. It's hard. You think this sucks and you're crazy. But when you do it, it works. And so whatever it is, I would just encourage everyone to start a practice of daily affirmations. And many of you have maybe a song you want to listen to or a scripture you want to read. Man, you do that daily and see how those things start to manifest in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So manifestation is mine.
Good.
What's your word for 2026?
So my word, I've kind of gone back and forth between two, but I think I've landed on spacious.
Ooh.
I was thinking of spacious and expansive, but spacious I think is it. And expansive just is kind of a different way to say it.
You are spaced out. You're a space cadet.
Yes, yes.
Okay, tell me about spacious.
So spacious, I picture like standing on the side of a mountain with just my hands up and just looking up and looking out.
Alex Honnold, free solo?
No, not like that at all. No, that brings anxiety and
El Capitan,
trepidation.
Only man to free solo.
Yeah, it's not that at all. Okay. That might be spacious for him.
Standing on the top of not the side of a mountain.
Just looking out and seeing, wow, this is big. This is so much bigger than me. And so to me, like I keep thinking of that that song or that phrase, wide open spaces, the Dixie Chicks.
All right.
But
sing us a little bit.
To me,
Sing
wide open spaces.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah. I don't know the rest. Okay.
I was going to jump in.
No, that's all I know. Okay. But to me, what that speaks of is to remember who my creator is, who is kind of responsible and in control of all of this. I want to be more in touch, more in tune with that creator, with the one who knows me better than anyone, that knows how I'm wired up, knows how I can become freer and more healed and live that abundant life. That's what I am open to in 2026.
And if you believe you're a manifestation of that creator, that means the creator is in you. He's chosen and is pleased to exist in the world in Jamie.
So whenever I prayed and just sat really quietly with those thoughts of like, what am I feeling for this year? What's going to be kind of that, what's my target? What's my focus? What do I really want to grow in or think about this year? I think that time spent with him, was time spent with yourself, being quiet, tuning into that voice inside of you. I think actually, when you spend time thinking about it, that word will find you. That word will come to you. I didn't have to try to make something up. I didn't chat GPT it. I didn't what would be a good word for me to think? Like it really just, as I spent time with it, it just, and wasn't in an instant. It takes me probably about, a week of kind of thinking about it and seeing where it, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt, or you're just curious about asking that question over and over. What word feels right for me for this year? What's going to be my focus? So I feel like the word itself or the phrase or whatever it is, that intention, it comes, it's like, that's what he wants for me this year, which means that's what I want for myself this year. I want to align with that word that he has given me. And it's like you're working in tandem. It's not like I'm going to go out and try to create spacious places. And, it's like he's got those for me. So my eyes are just already open. So personally, in our marriage, in long haul marriage, I'm just looking for I feel like my horizons have broadened. And so also what that speaks to me is margin. So with time, money, energy, what is that going to look like to create wide open spaces and allow for more to come?
So you love to make vision boards. And I think, isn't that going to be part of your evergreen retreat?
We're going to talk about it. We're not going to implement it as much, we don't have as much time to practically do it, but I'm hoping to do a vision night over here like we did last year where girls come over and we kind of do the creation of it. But yes, absolutely. Vision.
So, and there's something about again, visualizing something and having those pictures that you look at every day, and you're programming your subconscious when you look at those, because this is what, if confirmation bias is a real thing, you're now looking for those things and you're waiting for them. Like you said, almost being curious, God, how are these going to appear and how are they going to come to me in my life? So what you did do is you used very specific prompts in ChatGPT to help you create a vision board with spacious at the top, your word at the top. Tell me some of the do you want to talk about that? Some of the pictures on that
I'd
board
love to.
You showed me, and it's wow, these are really, really cool. I don't
know how this is going to work, with my buddy Chat, but basically,
do you have a name for Chat?
Just Chat.
Okay.
His name is just Chat.
Okay.
But
it's a he, right?
Is
he replacing me?
No. Okay. So this is basically what I said. This is I'll read it. Okay. I said, can you create a vision board for me, including the words spacious at the top, travel pictures of the beach and mountains, a woman journaling, books, a woman doing yoga, a woman walking, a swimming pool, some hand weights, a rebounder, fresh flowers, some evergreen trees with the word evergreen underneath them, and a picture of a tidy, clean kitchen or closet. So there's more I would have added, but I was like, he's not going to come through. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. Wow. You're a wackadoodle. But I showed you yesterday the what it came up with was incredible. Now, this is not going to replace my vision board that I actually make, cut words out and glue and do washi tape and all, just because
Dude, I'd print that bad boy out. I'd have it professionally done. That looks beautiful. Yeah. It's perfect. It is perfect.
I could not believe what it came up with. So that was super fun, because I really thought, I don't know what it's going to come up with. But a lot went behind the scenes with that, and that's not really even everything. I kind of want to do it again with even more thought. It was just a practice run. Yeah. But when you're thinking of your word and you kind of land on that's it. Then spend some time. I usually look at what is the definition of that word. What's the root of that word? What is it in different languages? What is it? What are some synonyms or some even antonyms of it? And I just do a brain dump in my journal, and it usually takes me days. But then I just start writing down everything that comes to my mind that has to do with that word. How am I going to watch for that word? What is this year going to hold for me? What am I looking for? What am I seeking? What do I feel kind of bubbling up in my spirit when I think about this word and this new year? And it just provides such a beautiful beginning to, and you don't have to wait till just the new year to do this. You can do this anytime. But hey, join us. This is a great time to do it, because everyone's kind of thinking of new everything. But if you take, all of your brain dump, everything that you can think of that you want to be included in this new year, and just go to ChatGPT and give it really strong prompts, it will make a vision board for you. So that's a great starting off point. Then it's fun to make a bigger one. But that was something cool that I learned.
So a lot of people around, you said everyone's thinking about new things. Right now we're already thinking about spring in Texas because it feels like it, and maybe even summer. But so many people have bailed on it's become this meme that, everybody just rejects the idea of New Year's resolutions, because the first thing you think of is, okay, I got my, I've been eating like crap over the holidays. I've gained a few, and I want a few pounds. I want to go to the gym. I'm going to start the membership, and you're fired up, and a week later you're done. You've bailed on your thing. So why? So many people basically reject the idea because we don't want to fail. We don't want to feel like a failure or a loser. So who needs them? Let's don't do New Year's resolutions. But what we're talking about, setting intentions, doing affirmations, wanting positive manifestation in our lives, you doing a vision board, that literally is all about making resolutions, but not bailing on them. So I would say you're not cynical about those. You truly believe in them. And I watch it, and I watch it manifest in you. And so what would you say to people who have given up on the idea of New Year's resolutions and think it's a stupid idea?
So I do think it's, I don't even really think about New Year's resolutions anymore, although that is kind of what it is. It's just a different spin on it. It's a different take on it. It's saying not just what are the things I want to do. I want to work out more. I need to drink more water. I've got to blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I have more time to live. Right now, I'm still alive. So while I'm still alive, what are some things that I want to, more than just do, who do I want to become? And when you figure out that, when you kind of wrestle that to the ground, who do I want to become? So if I want to become that person, what would that kind of person, what would they do? And so not only thinking, here's what I want to do, or I need to do, or I got to do. These are some things that this is who I want to become. And I believe I can become that person. So what would that look like? And then every single day, putting some time and energy into thinking about that person that you're becoming, planning who, what that's going to look like for you. So it's not just, throwing this resolution like I got to work out more. And it's just this kind of burden, this kind of like whipping yourself with this, I should do this and I should do this. It's like, no, this is who I am becoming. So what are some things that I would do to become that person? And every single day spending time thinking about those things. So if it's through affirmations or manifestations or whatever it is, and maybe even finding some things that aren't so brutal. Like I got to go, I got to train for a marathon this year. I'm going to start running 4 miles a day. Like start with what are some kind of gentle things that you could also, if you love to run, that's awesome. Add that to your list, but also add some things that will be gentle on your, on your spirit. Some things that will be not so like cumbersome and heavy. Georgia.
Yeah, tell everybody why you say that.
Oh, Georgia. Sweet little Georgia.
We don't have to go into that.
Yeah, okay.
So, inside joke about a grandbaby. So, one of the things that it was an interesting thought experiment with the family when the Powerball was this historic, $1.7 billion Powerball. And even if you don't take if you take the one-time lump sum and the taxes and all that, even if it's, 486 million by the time, that's a lot of money, right? And I remember asking everyone, what would you do? So everybody's imagination turns on what would you do if you won the money? And so an interesting thought experiment is if you didn't win the money, but you've told yourself, here's what I would do if I did win that money. So what's stopping you from starting to imagine that life and do those things without the money? So it's just, I would ask everyone to try that. It's kind of like when someone said, well, if you could live anywhere you want, it's like, wait a minute, let me stop you. I could live anywhere I want. Like you think, well, no, I can't. Well, okay. So there may be some valid reasons why you wouldn't want to move to New Zealand if you could live anywhere. But there are a lot of choices we could make to start doing the things, starting the business or doing that type of ministry or starting those dance classes or a dance studio or whatever it is. And so it's interesting. A lot of times we think, well, we can't. It's not feasible because I got to work. I got to pay bills. But I would challenge us all to start, again, being more expansive in our mind about choosing to do things that, and you said it, man, we're alive. What do I want to become? What do I want to do with my life? And don't wait for the Powerball jackpot to hit. It's start it right now. And that's so interesting. And I remember a couple of the conversations I had with people as they went through the thought experiment. You could kind of see the light bulbs turning on when they thought, well, yeah, I guess there's really nothing stopping me from going ahead. But usually it's like if I were going to start, I think, man, if money were no object, I would probably start a YouTube channel and dive into, just really researching a lot of the archaeological finds about ancient civilizations, things that have, existed, and things, these monolithic sites, where they're digging up Göbekli Tepe or, the Egyptian pyramids. Like, who did that? How did they do it? How did the people carve out of one piece of basalt, not erect some overground temple, but like going into a mile into the ground, this temple from a single piece. Someone carved it. Looked like with laser precision. It looked like a laser printer kind of thing. How did they do that? Well, if I was so it would take me a lot of time and effort and work to start that YouTube channel, right? Now with ChatGPT, you can write a script or all the AI tools, and you can have it just put the prompts, have it write the script, have it come up with all the video thumbnails to go along with a video, and then you could post that. But thinking, okay, how do I do that? Well, go learn, get on YouTube and figure it out. But a lot of people just will never do that because, man, I'm busy, right? Okay, how about in the time that you're watching Netflix? How about take those 2 hours or 3 hours, or at least the 1 hour that you spend searching all the menus and all the different streaming services, and then not ever landing on one because you watched all the trailers and then didn't ever start one?
If it's important enough to you,
just go do it.
You will figure it out.
It's something that we all have more control over than we think. So shifting gears, I want to talk about finally here as we end this episode, over the holidays, man, we talked about it before. It's a time where it's really a tough time for a lot of people, and being with family, being around family, or just looking forward even to the new year once all of the distractions sometimes of the holiday times or Christmas and buying gifts and giving gifts and receiving and all that, we can be reminded that, wow, we're in a crappy situation in our job, in our marriage, with our relationships, with each other, with the kids or whatever. And we had a lot of people reach out over the holidays.
Man,
and so we took some time off to be with family. And then our first day back, we had 8 appointments. On that Tuesday back, 8 appointments. People reached out like crazy. So if you find yourself struggling, just know you're not alone. I remember just trying to normalize that for so many people as we were talking on Tuesday. And man, they're just boom, boom, boom. They're coming in every day. So why do you think that is? Why do you think?
I think a lot of people, like you said, the kind of the full fun, whatever, over the holidays that it is for people, kind of craziness, maybe just one big distraction. The new year comes, and I think everybody, you feel that. You feel like, man, this is how I used to feel when, a new calendar, year started. Or this is a reminder of, yet again, where I'm not where I want to be. This is never where I thought my life would end up. Or you may look and go, okay, so everyone around me is starting all this new, there's this new energy all around me, and I just feel like old and washed up and just kind of down, discouraged, depressed. And so I think for a lot of people, they muster a little bit of courage and say, man, I don't feel great, and I want to do something to not feel the way that I'm feeling. I need to talk to someone about how I'm feeling, about my marriage, about the relationship with my mom or my dad or my older child, whatever it is. And so they're reaching out. So yeah, it has been jam-packed with people reaching out. I think it's a reminder of like, this is a new year. I want to do something different, and feeling like I want to kind of take some ownership or some agency. Maybe they don't frame it like that. But this is kind of their one, like, okay, I know these people. This is what I can do today. I can send a text to them or send an email and ask, what would that look like for me to get help from y'all? Yeah. And so we've heard that from a lot of people. Also, on another side note, a lot of people got engaged over Christmas. So wow, we have heard from a lot of people too who are planning weddings.
We have
that's exciting
weddings
too.
Already on the board for 2026, and we're doing premarital with most of those couples.
Yeah,
so we're looking forward to that.
I would encourage you. Reach out.
Yeah,
like
we're here.
If you feel
we're in
that
it for
nudge,
the long haul, guys, with you.
Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel shy.
Yeah.
Press into that anxiety of sending that text or emailing us or calling us, whatever it is, and let's get something started.
Cool. Do you have any spaces left for the Evergreen Retreat?
We've got 2 more spots.
2 more spots. And
2
that
more
is coming
spots.
up. Tell everybody about that.
Okay, so Evergreen Women's Retreat, Broken Bow, Oklahoma, January 23rd through 25th. I'm smiling so big as I talk about it because I feel like I'm about to give birth. I feel like I'm just anticipating so just women showing up that need that space, that need this time to be able to kind of reset or recalibrate and just.
Is that why your hormones have been so out of whack? Because you're 9 months pregnant?
Probably.
About to give birth. Yeah.
Anyway, we've got 2 more spots, single beds in in each of the community rooms. We had some king size suites and those sold out quickly. And then we have 2 community rooms that are almost full, but we have 1 bunk in each of those. Beautiful cabin in Broken Bow. We'll have some good food and some sweet time to be together. So if you're interested in Evergreen, you can hit me up.
Cool.
And I can let you know more.
And I said finally before, last thing. Yeah. So what was your favorite Christmas present you got? On the spot.
Well, one of them I'm playing with right now on my finger. Right Brian got me an Aura ring, Oura, and it tells me
they're not sponsors.
No, but sponsor us, Aura. Anyway, I really do love this because it kind of is a symbol of focusing on my health. So it kind of just shows your sleep patterns, where you can kind of grow in whether you're, during the day physiologically, if you're stressed or if you're restored. Yep. It shows kind of your activity level.
I love it shows your readiness for the day. You're in the high 80s on your readiness.
It does. Anyway, so I love that, but there's so many things that I love. Like I'll reach for my perfume, or I'll reach for my new pair of shoes, or I'll reach for a blanket, or just just sweet gifts that you or the kids have given me, and it just is a reminder, like I'm loved, and I love this fun stuff, and I'm enjoying it every day.
Favorite gift was the Reese's peanut butter cups in my stocking in the little,
great.
Little
glad that
cane,
was you're easily yep. pleased.
Cool.
Well, all right.
Well, happy 2026, everybody. Here's
cheers
to a new year.
2026.
Let's do it.
Clink.